You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is. NXT plus the news. Perfect. NXT review plus the news. We have a bunch of news going on today. Plus, we're going to talk about NXT. Let's not waste any more time. Check out my socials. Follow me, RJD, RJ699 on Twitter, RJD_199 on Instagram, RJD199 on Snapchat. But most importantly, follow What the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Follow What the Wrestling on Spotify and Anchor. Let's go! Yes, yes, yes. 'Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. I am here with the cat. You can't see him, but trust me, there's a cat here, and he's in the way. But he likes to be a part of the shows. Wait, can you see his tail? No? Wait. I'm like pulling him. He's like, let me go. But anyway. He's here. Trust me. The cat is here. I'm here. Everybody's here. Welcome to What the Wrestling on this chilly Thursday morning. Man, we got some news to talk about. We got the NXT review, like I said. Monday Night Review coming tomorrow. So I know I'm going backwards here. Don't judge me, but we will have the Monday Night Review tomorrow on top of the news for the day. So stay tuned for that. And hit the like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. What the Wrestling, you guys already know. Now, I swear this cat is going to get in the way. But if he gets in the way, I'll just toss him to the side. He'll be all right. But let's get into it. Let's talk Ace Steel. So, Ace Steel has been let go by All Elite Wrestling. In case you've been living under a rock, you should already know at the last pay-per-view for AEW, there was an altercation backstage with the EVPs, Punk and Nakazawa and a whole bunch of other people backstage. And it turned into the all-out brawl was backstage, and nobody remembered that MJF came back because they was fighting. So, with that being said, we knew there would be some casualties, but the first one and the first domino has been dropped. So, Ace Steel has been let go. You guys already know CM Punk went ham on everybody. Cabana, Page, Omega, and the Bucks said, if you want to holler at me, come see me backstage, and we could talk about it. Surprise, motherfucker. So, they went and saw him backstage, and it turned into a fight. Now, as Ace Steel is no longer with the company, it was thought that Ace Steel was released from AEW. He sent out a tweet with an animated GIF saying freedom on October 12th. Dave Meltzer has confirmed on Wrestling Observer Radio that Steel is no longer under contract with the company. So far, he is the only one who was fired due to the ordeal. And I quote, so he was officially released yesterday, so I guess that's the first bit of news out of the whole situation in weeks. There's a lot of other stuff going on. Now, you got to understand there's legal implications there. Tony Khan, everything about this is no comment, no comment, no comment, because obviously TK can't talk about it if there's a freaking impending lawsuit. So for all of you people getting mad that TK is not commenting on this,
You stupid.
he can't comment on it legally because it might come back to bite him in the ass, so they don't want him talking about it, which makes perfect sense. If you've been around any lawyer or seen any legal incidents, then you already know that's how it's done. Now, as far as Ace Steel, I mean, basically Punk to my knowledge, Punk wanted Ace Steel to come in. If he came in, Ace Steel was a part of the deal, so he came in with Punk. And we don't know what's going to happen with Punk because Punk is injured anyway. They might just let Punk ride out his contract, and then you could go, goodbye, see you later. Well, we had a year with you. You came back. We made some money. We did some business. Now it's time to go. I don't know. Who knows what happens with Punk? This is the first time we're seeing Omega and Punk in some of the video graphics on TV. So the Elite may be ready to come back. We don't know. We will see. The show must go on as it is going on, but this is the first thing that is starting to happen. Now, there are people, I think Brian Alvarez said, there are people that still haven't even been interviewed yet as far as this legal situation goes. So we may not see these guys until next year. We don't know. Like, literally nobody knows. Unless you're one of the people or it's something backstage or one of the people who talk to you directly, which they're probably not going to do because they're probably being advised not to. No one knows what's going to happen and when these guys are going to come back. But we do know Ace Steel is the first casualty. If I had to guess, I think it's unlikely Punk returns, especially if he threw the first punch. We don't know if he did or didn't. No one has literally confirmed that. All we know is the stories from backstage. But if he was the first one to throw the punch, I think he's gone, me personally. But we'll see. We don't know. But Ace Steel is gone. First thing that has happened. We'll see what happens with that moving forward. And time will tell. Update on Stat. Chris Statlander is recovering from her injury. So Chris Statlander was injured June 2020. Who's texting me? Let me turn off I thought I turned this off. June 2020, she tore her ACL and I believe her meniscus against Serena on AEW Dark in August. No, wait. No, she injured herself June 2020 and tore her ACL. And then in August, she tore her ACL. I don't know if it was the other ACL or the same ACL, but she got hurt again in August, which sucks because I firmly believe she was going to be the one to beat Jade Cargill and give Jade her first L. They were setting up to make Chris all that in a bag of chips, but she was recently on Hollywood Life, had an interview, and she said, "What's the status?" So they asked her, and she said, "What are my plans for October and the rest of the year? Mostly just recovering from my knee injury, getting stronger, and getting myself ready to get back in the ring. Unfortunately, it's the only thing I can't really focus on right now, and I just want to heal as best I can." She was getting a major push before she got hurt. And it's the same thing as before. Before she was getting over organically, she was getting a major push, and then I think she hurt her shoulder or some shit or something. And I'm like, God damn. Like, she was just about to get that spot, and then she got hurt. But shit happens. I wish her, here at What the Wrestling, we wish her a speedy recovery, and we hope that she comes back better than ever. They do really well with knees. Knees and elbows, they pretty much perfected those surgeries. With the elbows, your damn elbow comes back stronger than it was before. With the knees, you got to be careful, but with rehab, a lot of people with torn ACLs can come back and be savages. So we hope she comes back better than ever. All right, let's talk about Mr. Kingston. Mr. Kingston and Santana almost came to blows. This is interesting. So recently, Conan was talking about Santana and Ortiz, Pride and Powerful, and Ortiz has been off of TV. Santana and Ortiz came in a while ago. What, 2 years ago now? And they were positioned immediately as a top tag team, but they never got the tag team championships. They started being misused. They were doing the thing with Jericho and not the JAS, but in the inner circle. But then they just never got over that hump, and they never got the bump to be the main tag team guys, even though they were over as hell and they're phenomenal wrestlers. Now, Conan was saying that Ortiz is kind of the one that's chill. He's cool. They paying me. I'm living good. When they need me, I'm there. We're gonna rock out. Santana, Conan said, is more of the hothead of the group, but they are not on speaking terms right now. And Conan talked about Eddie Kingston and Santana almost getting into a physical altercation on his Keeping It 100 podcast. So what he said was this: WCW star, Kingston and Santana almost had a fight because of issues with Ortiz. And I quote, "It breaks my heart because I spent a lot of time with them, and I've said before, they're like my sons. I've heard it almost got physical with Santana and Kingston over this. It's not a good look, bro. I really hate seeing these two guys who could have gone to WWE and really fucking blown up that they separated. I can see Santana, when his contract is up, leaving. Ortiz is very chill and laid back. Santana is more of a hothead. Ortiz was like, hey, they ain't gonna do shit with us. And Santana's like, no, wait, hold up. Ortiz was like, hey, they ain't doing shit with us. And Santana's like, they ain't doing shit with us. And he's right. Ortiz is more like, we're getting paid. So I guess he meant to say Santana was saying that they ain't doing shit with us. I guess he kind of corrected himself. So let me continue. We're getting paid and are taken care of. And he was comfortable in his role, and Santana wants more. Santana is currently out of action due to injury suffered at Blood and Guts. He hurt his knee very, very early on in that match, and we haven't seen him since. Ortiz, we have seen him come out with Eddie Kingston a couple of times, but we haven't really seen him regularly on AEW TV. Here's the deal. Santana and Ortiz are phenomenal together. He's right. They could have went to WWE, and especially if Triple H was running the show. With Vince McMahon, I don't think so. Vince McMahon doesn't even like tag team wrestling. I think they would have got lost in the shuffle. But when it comes to Triple H, they could have went to WWE with Triple H running the show, especially if they was on Black and Gold NXT. Holy shit. They would have killed it. Like, it would have been like Blue Eyes White Dragon type shit. They would have killed it for real. Even now, if they were to go there now, they would both kill it. And I understand. So I understand Ortiz. Ortiz is like, yo, they ain't doing shit with. I understand Santana. Santana's like, listen, man, they ain't doing shit with us. This is nonsense. We're great. Why are we not getting an opportunity to shine? And I understand Ortiz. Ortiz is like, listen, man, we getting a check. We good. We getting paid. Everybody's taken care of. We're traveling the world. We all right. But if Santana wants more, I understand the hunger and the irritation. It's like, you're not using me to the best of my ability, even though I am fantastic at what I do. Me and Ortiz, we're fantastic at what we do. I've seen these guys wrestle live multiple times. These guys are phenomenal. They are phenomenal. And they're burned. The longer they've been in AEW, the less and less they've been used, which sucks. And that's the problem that Tony Khan has, because they got so much talent they don't know what to do with. And their tag team division is stacked. The regular division is stacked. I mean, damn, they got all these goddamn titles. I mean, shit. How many people have they misused? We haven't seen Miro, Black, Buddy Murphy. All these guys are being misused. So, I get it. Listen, man. Can't say I ain't never had no issues with some of my close friends. Your boys, you fight with your boys, you figure it out, you make up, you're talking out as men, you move forward. I'm hoping that Santana and Ortiz can do the same thing and they could just move forward past the bullshit. And listen, if Santana leaves, he's a phenomenal wrestler. He can make it on his own. He's great. Ortiz is great too. So hopefully these guys could work it out. We'll see what happens, but I wish both of these guys the best, and I wish Santana a speedy recovery, man, because I get it. I freaking get it, man. Especially when you know you're better than that. So, let's talk about Athena. Athena and Jody Threat got a verbal lashing and talking to after their match on AEW Dark. So, basically, this is what happened. Athena and Jody, former Ember Moon, and Jody Threat had a match on AEW Dark, and it basically went off the rails. So what happened was, apparently, and I quote, those close to Athena indicated that each woman were approached by management after the match to make sure everything was okay. One source familiar with the situation believed that there should have been an opportunity to lead by example as opposed to letting it dissolve. Those close to Athena believe that this is the way the match was going to go because of her having to switch the heel role due to Jody's babyface reaction. We didn't hear any of the confrontation or anything of the sort between the two women after the match. It was related to us that not everything that is being microanalyzed on social media was a result of the situation. We're told Jody Threat herself didn't complain about how the match went and hasn't spoke on the match, the situation, or indicated anything out of the ordinary, normal publicly. All we've heard from her side of things is that she's not big on all the attention that emanates from situations such as these and generally tries to keep her head down to avoid political aspects of wrestling. So, what happened during this match is that it got kind of stiff, and I guess Jody Threat forgot what she was supposed. She forgot about the layout of the match. So Athena basically, and she told Athena in the match, what the hell are we supposed to do? So Athena just improvised, and then it got kind of stiff. But Jody didn't complain. Athena, she didn't say nothing to Athena, according to reports. Athena didn't complain. Nobody complained. So it was like, yo, we're just going to keep it going. But it got kind of stiff. It looked crazy on the monitors, I guess. So when they got backstage, management talked to both of them and said, listen, maybe the match got derailed and went off the rails, but maybe next time if something happens, do it a little differently. Don't let it come off on TV like shit is out of control. And I mean, me personally, this is not news. Like, I don't think this is news. Athena has never had an issue. Nobody has ever, not me anyway. I've never heard of Athena having issues and Jody Threat, even though I don't know who she is. They just said she likes to keep her head down in situations like this and not make a big thing out of it. Never heard of Athena being too stiff or unsafe or whatever in the ring. So I don't think this is news. I just think this is an isolated incident. Shit happens. They forgot what they were supposed to. Maybe Jody forgot what she was supposed to do. Athena took it upon herself to get things right. And then they figured it out and they got through the match. So everybody going through, oh my God, and they got talked to backstage.
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't think this is news whatsoever. I think this is just shit happens and it is what it is. So to all you guys going crazy over this, listen, we understand AEW recently has had a lot of problems with their backstage politics and people fighting each other. Sammy fighting Eddie, Eddie fighting Sammy, Sammy fighting Andrade getting mad and people fighting, the whole brawl at the media scrum. We understand AEW right now, the backstage, it's almost like people need a bodyguard backstage just to get shit done. We get it. But everybody, tranquilo, okay? Relax. This is not news. Shit happens. They figured it out. Maybe she was too stiff. Maybe she wasn't. If they're not complaining with each other and shit is not getting addressed, not that serious. Hangman. Shout out to the Hangman. Hangman has a concussion. This was noted yesterday in my video, AEW review. Go check that out on my channel, What the Wrestling, on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. But he put out a tweet saying, and I quote, "Thanks everyone for being so nice. I'm doing all right, feeling good. Feeling good today. Had a nice panini for lunch. Thanks to Paul, Medical, Mox, Brandon, BJ, etc. Insert introspective yet merciless quote about unfinished business here." End quote. Hangman is fine, everybody. It's all good. So, shout out to that, Don DeMarco. I'm just glad the brother's okay. Like, seriously, I'm just glad the brother is okay. We don't need Hangman getting hurt. We don't need Hangman out for any extended period of time unless he wants to be out and he needs time off. Concussions are nothing to F with. Hangman, take the time that you need. Don't come back until you absolutely not even have to, until you absolutely are 100% healthy. Because once you have a concussion, you are susceptible to further concussions. Brain injuries are really up and down, and they are incredibly hard to predict how they will affect each person. It literally goes from person to person to person. You don't know how it's going to affect them. So what I would say is that I'm glad this brother's okay. Take the time you need. Stay home with your fam. Get right 110%. Then come back. Continue with whatever storyline they were going to continue with and keep it moving. As long as he's okay, that's what's most important. AEW gets a lot of flack because of the Matt Hardy situation, when Matt Hardy took that bump and smashed his freaking head on the concrete, and they let him finish the match. And his wife got upset, and she was like, shame on everybody, and she got uptight, deservedly so, because that was incredibly stupid. The way they handled that. But now AEW is handling these situations correctly. Hangman, the ref said Hangman was snoring. He was out cold. They talked to him. They brought in the doctor. They stopped the match rather quickly. They didn't try to move him. They didn't try to turn him. They didn't try to do anything. When you're dealing with a head injury, the slightest thing could F anything up. So you want to be cautious about what's going on, and they did the right thing. They got him up out of there. They got him to the hospital. They checked him backstage, brought him to the hospital. Hospital checked him out, diagnosed concussion. Take your time, go home, do what you have to do. Shout out to AEW for getting it done right. Shout out to AEW for doing the right thing. And shout out to the Hangman for basically being okay. I'm glad he's good. Now, NXT, everybody. NXT. So, there are reports, before we get into the show, there are reports that NXT is going to be going back to getting out of the Performance Center for tours, not for touring and for big NXT shows, like not takeovers, because they're not takeovers anymore, but the pay-per-view shows. There are reports that they are getting the hell up out of the Performance Center for those. Let's hit the perfect for that. And I look forward to that because it's going to change the dynamic. So you know what? Oh, yeah. Excuse me as I drink my water. That is great. Shawn Michaels was quoted, I'm paraphrasing, but he was saying, listen, they're going to have to learn how to do this on WWE TV anyway, so why not let them get their feet wet in NXT? That's basically what he said, and he's absolutely right. Those stadium shows with those takeover crowds, if we could get anything close to that on these premium live events, if you could get anything close to that on these pay-per-views like we used to get on the takeovers, man, NXT is going to be that much better. And with the people down there that know how to work, man, NXT might just be going in the right direction. So shout them out. So we had NXT, everybody. First things first, pick your poison. Roxanne Perez and her fight was with Rhea Ripley, a returning Rhea Ripley, as the cat goes on his belly and he wants me to rub him. Okay, great. Doing the show here, cat. Leave me alone. So, Rhea Ripley comes down. They had a big girl, little girl match, but unfortunately, Rhea Ripley gets the win. Roxanne Perez loses. I really like Roxanne Perez. Former Roxy, I really like her. She tried to, this match ended when she tried to hit the pop rock. She messed it up. Rhea took full control again. She went outside, tried to do something, got cut off. Then she went back in the ring as Dom got the distraction. And because of the distraction, she was able to hit the Riptide and got the win. I like Rhea Ripley. I'm glad that she's back. They have good chemistry in the ring. Rhea Ripley is so much bigger. Roxanne Perez is a small woman. Rhea Ripley is like my height. Rhea Ripley is damn near 6 feet tall, I think. So, because I know her and Raquel Gonzalez. I think Raquel Gonzalez is like 6 feet 6'1". Roxanne Perez is probably like 5'4", 5'2", something like that. They had a big girl, little girl match. This match was great. I really did like it. Shout out to Rhea Ripley coming back. A lot of NXT and AEW loaded these shows up. So I'm glad that, because I got to see 2 good shows with a lot of returning main roster stars. So shout out to both of these companies for loading their shows. This was great. Moving on. We had Mr. Stacks versus a mystery opponent. What I really liked about this was Tony D. Hey, yo, Tony D. Oh, what the hell happened to my damn music? Oh, the cat turned my music off. Oh, we're going to leave that in, though. The cat. Oh, shout out to the cat for turning on. Why you turn my music off?
You activated my trap card.
I'm not changing it. I'm clipping this up. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Just to let you guys know, there is a cat here. Here he is. He hit the button and changed the music. You know, that's why I don't let him sleep on the damn thing when I do the music. All right, now move. Now you gotta go. That's why I don't let him sleep up here when I'm doing the damn show. Totally changed the music. That's all right. We're gonna vibe with this for NXT. So, shout out to the cat.
Perfect.
All right. So the reason why I like Tony D, I like Tony D because he said, "Hey, you wanna know who it is? You wanna know who it is?" Stacks is like, "Who is it? Come on, I'm ready. Who is it?" He said, "I'll tell you after this commercial break." Ha 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 ha. And then they went to commercial. That was cool. Oh, he gave the crowd. The crowd was like, "Oh."
Emotional damage.
Shout out to Tony D. After we come back from commercial break, we had, who is it? We had Shinsuke Nakamura returning to NXT in what seems like years since he's been down there. And there are reports that he has other appearances. You hear me?
Stupid.
He has other appearances, not appearances. He has other appearances scheduled for NXT coming up soon. They had themselves a solid match. The King of Strong Style definitely gave some strong style to Tony D's henchman, Mr. Stacks, and he caught the Kinshasa for the win. So shout out to Nakamura because he won. Fun fact, when he was about to hit the Kinshasa, Stacks was like, "Come on, give it to me. Let's go, hit me with it." And then he caught a knee to the face. And he lost. Shinsuke was like, right in your face, player. Shout out to him. We then had a Chucky segment with Grayson Waller, and he announced his match with Apollo Crews would be a spin the wheel, make the deal match, and Waller ran out of the building. This was not that good because he's acting like Chucky. Now, I understand it's paid promotion. They're paying WWE to do this. I just wasn't feeling it. Okay, cool. So, Abba Fire versus Sonya Deville with Toxic Attraction. This was... Gigi Dolan and JC Jane tried to get involved. They got taken out, but in the chaos, Fire rolled up Deville for the 3 count. This did not go that long. This never even got a chance to be a real match because they got involved mad quick. It was 3-on-1, but Sonya Deville still lost. What was the point of bringing her back just to take the L in this fashion? This was like 2 minutes. Wasn't feeling this. They could have did this better. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like this. After the match, Toxic Attraction was attacked by Abba Fire before Mandy Rose's music hit. Fire laid everyone out and took Rose's title. Now, I don't know what's going on with Abba Fire. I think she had promised coming in, but then they gave her this Abba Fire bullshit. She could have just stayed Kaylee Ray. She didn't have to do this Abba Fire crap. I don't like it, but listen, they are firmly behind Mandy Rose. So I like Mandy Rose. I like Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is okay in the ring. I like Abba Fire. I like Roxy. I like who's the other girl? Cora Jade. I think that's a nice little nucleus of women. I like Zoe Stark. I think Nikita Lyons has a little ways to go, but I think she will end up being good too. They got a nice little division setting up. It's just not feeling this storyline. Then we had Carmelo Hayes and Mr. Trick Williams versus Wesley and Oro Mensah. This was alright. Carmelo Hayes and Trick started off the fight in the locker room, and Wesley and Oro, they fought back. They made their way to the ring. Mr. Trick took out Mensah, while Melo caught Wesley with the, I think he hit him with something in the midsection, and then he hit him with the diving leg kick. This had a hot start, but it ended up slowing down. This ended up with all the ladder match participants fighting everyone else. Even though Melo and Trick won, Von Wagner ended up coming out, and everybody got beat up. So Frazier dived on him. Wagner kicked Melo in the face. So this is basically setting up the ladder match for next week. Okay, cool. Like I said, this was alright. Not too crazy about it. It is what it is. Next, the Schism versus Cameron Grimes and the OC. Too sweet, baby. This was smooth. Great to see Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. You hear me?
Stupid.
What is up with my enunciation today? Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, the Good Brothers. Good to see the OC on TV. Grimes, Gallows, and Anderson got the win over the Schism. Fine by me. They looked good, but they lost. But you're not going to have the Good Brothers come and take an L like this. Cameron Grimes was talking about too sweet. Everything looks good. Everybody got along. And the Magic Killer to Reed basically ended this. So Gallows and Anderson backstage made it clear that they were not only helping Grimes for the money he was putting up, but also because they were fans of Cameron Grimes. I do think Cameron Grimes is going to be good on the main roster. He's charismatic as hell. He can work in the ring. And him as a babyface, like an underdog babyface, I think he could get the crowd behind him on the main roster. Because Cameron Grimes said, I'm going to keep fighting. And we're going to go to the moon. I think that to the moon, that's going to catch fire, I think, on the main roster. Just before the match, Gacy warned Grimes that the Schism would make him pay. Veer Mahan refused to answer interview questions, clearly leaving before. Then he left with Sanga. So we'll see what's up with Veer. We'll see what's up with Sanga. I don't know if they're related. They're doing a brother angle. I don't know. We'll see. And the NXT had 2 contract signings for next week. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance versus Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark, and Pretty Deadly versus Malik Blade and Idris Info. So we had Zion Quinn and Quincy Elliott challenging each other for co-hosting duties. This was not good. The end result here was Elliott beat Quinn, and he became the co-host of next week's Halloween Havoc. I don't get Elliott. Zion Quinn is good in the ring, but they ain't using him like that. So I don't know what they're going to do with this. The Diva drop for the win on Quinn. I don't know about this. I just don't know. Damon Kemp taught Julius Creed until the Diamond Mine star walked off in an interview. Andre Chase went over the history of Halloween Havoc, only for Truck to interrupt in a Chase U segment. So, cool. Then we had the Pick Your Poison match, Cora Jade versus Raquel Rodriguez. This was, I mean, Cora Jade won because she tried to hit Rodriguez with the damn kendo stick. She took it and whacked her in it. She whacked her with it instead. This was short as well. So Rodriguez missed the chop outside. She went hand first into the table. Cora Jade took advantage and hit a springboard double knee. After the finish, Roxanne Perez came out and she stormed the ring and she sent Cora Jade running, trying to hit her with the kendo stick. I wish they would have actually had a match here, but they didn't. It's good to see Raquel back in NXT, but come on, they could have had like a 6-7 minute match, something. I mean, Cora Jade got the win, but she was like, you know, I outsmarted you, I made you hit me, and I won. I get it, but wasn't feeling that. Then we had a KO show segment, and the KO show, Kevin Owens comes back to NXT, big reaction. Everybody loves the Acclaim, but everybody also loves Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah!
So Kevin Owens called out JD McDonough for starting trouble, and the Irish Ace said he's going to start some more trouble. Braun Breaker and Ilja Dragunov got into each other's faces. KO finally gave up on trying to stop the fighting and just let them fight. So Dragunov took out both Braun Breaker and McDonough, and he stood tall. Austin Theory's music hit, and he showed off his Money in the Bank briefcase, teasing a future cash-in, which I don't think is going to happen. I mean, I think it actually would be good if he cashed in and became NXT champion, because no lie, I don't know where he fits on the main roster because he keeps losing. So I understand, Money in the Bank winner, if you're the Money in the Bank winner, you could take a loss here, you could take a loss there, because you still have the briefcase to fall back on. But wouldn't you want the Money in the Bank briefcase winner to have momentum when he cashes in? You don't want him to just be a loser that cashes in, because now I'm looking at him that's a loser with the title. So I don't know if that kind of works. That you might want him to be a winner. But I'm like, you know what? If he goes and he wins the NXT title and then he goes back to NXT and stays there, holds on to the title, stays there for 6 months, 8-9 months, has a long title reign, I think for NXT, I think that will work. I think that's actually great because it gives a credibility to the NXT title, because somebody uses the Money in the Bank briefcase to cash in on NXT. That elevates NXT. That elevates the NXT title. And then you can have Braun Breaker, Ilja Dragunov. You can have JD McDonough. You can have them all chasing this guy. And you could just have him be the slimy heel that continues to win. I like that. I like that story. And he can work. He can have a good match. The brother's in phenomenal shape. He looks great. And it gives him time to keep training and to keep learning his craft. And like I said, if they go and start doing these takeover-like shows like they used to have, and they go to the Barclays and they go to different arenas and they have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 people watching them like they did when I went to the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn for Gargano and Ciampa, I think that's phenomenal. I do. I love it. So, I like this. I don't think he will cash in for NXT, but it'd be nice if he does. No lie. Theory coming out was a surprise. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully he does cash in. That'd be great. And we'll see what happens. So also, Briggs and Jensen and Haley got the Halloween Havoc party started early, getting Indy Hartwell, Ekman, Jiro to also participate in the drinking game. That happened, just to mention it. So this is your NXT. This is your news. I am really looking forward to NXT. You know, when this new NXT is good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. But I think they're trying to do some interesting things. So I'm not going to sit here and shit on everything. But what I will say is that at least they've piqued my interest. And if they continue to do these, if they're going to go back out and start doing these stadium shows again, or these arena shows with 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people, man, I think we can start going back to what, obviously you're not going to go back to the old NXT, but I think they could start making this new evolved NXT a better product. So we'll see what happens. That's all I got for you guys today. So please hit the like button on your way in. HBO, help a brother out as we continue to bring you the news and the wrestling and the reviews and the pay-per-views and all the good stuff that you want to see and hear out of your wrestling. We are here tomorrow with the Monday Night Raw review. I know it's Friday, but we'll have news. Monday Night Raw review, so look out for that. Check out my socials one more time. Everybody be safe out there. Winter is coming. And stay warm. RJD here. I'm out. Peace.
Dom DeMarco.